All right, so welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at Workday, which is WDAY. It is up 7.5%, so we're going to check it out. Keep in mind that these are recommendations to buy, sell, or trade the stocks, just my own personal opinion. And if you want to grab my opinion, you can do so on our Discord channel right here. Just sign up. It's in the description below. You can also go ahead and visit the Traders Fly website. There's a ton of great stuff and freebies there as well. So anyways, let's kick things off here, and we go to Workday, which is WDAY, and it increased here after hours just due to the earnings. You can take a look at the earnings here if we look at WDAY. Basically, they were looking for a loss, but they ended up pulling through to about, what was it, 78 cents actual? Yeah, 78 cents. So it started to pop. We're up about $16 or 7.25%. So that stock is around 245 right now. So as we keep pressing into these higher prices, what I want to show you is just kind of go over the technical analysis here within the stock. And let's break it down here. All right, so here we go. All right, so let's pull this up. One thing that I want you to see is that this stock overall, since we kind of got into the company opened up, and just look at the trend here that we've been kind of going. Just trying to combine some points here for you. You can see this angle that we've been traveling, and it's been pretty good and healthy. And the trend overall in the channel has been also fairly good. So we've been kind of going in this range the last handful of years from about 2016 to now. We've been sticking to that range. So right now, if you're looking to buy on value and you're looking to kind of buy on the dip, you're kind of looking at a good spot right here. A lot of stocks are oversold and so forth. There is some bearish volume here that's not necessarily a great thing. But overall, you know, this stock is holding kind of this trend. Again, this trend does have some volatility. So this is the confluence as known in these spots because it doesn't line it up perfect. But it's kind of moving in this kind of direction. Anytime it hits kind of this level, it's starting to bounce. So as we zoom into more of the weekly time frame and you just kind of connect these lines, what you'll see is that right now, we're kind of starting to get this little bit of a bounce. Now, this bounce also comes at a nice psychological level, right around that 200 level. So you can see if I draw this line across, there's a 200. We didn't quite reach it down here, but you can see this support resistance right at the past level in 2020 here. So this kind of has been going a little bit sideways here in this upper range and between this 300 and 200 level. But right now we're kind of starting to get that bounce. We've got this upward trending support line. We've got this other horizontal support line right there. And we've got some earnings that now are out of the stock. And the other thing I want to show you here is that this on the descending line is also starting to break. Now, yes, it is only one day, but the volume is coming in. And usually, as I always say, one day doesn't make a trend. So usually you want to see follow through a second day, a third day, fourth day. That's always good. If you can see kind of higher highs or higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. If you can see the kind of that trend pushing into kind of those levels like that, that would be great for the stock. So that's where the one day, yeah, you could pop like we are right now, but then it could also give it all back within that day or two. So just be careful on some of these earnings pops. When they pop very quickly, there's always a gap underneath, and that gap is weakness. And with the weakness, it sucks the stocks in sometimes down into those lower levels to fill that gap level. And in this case, you've got about $15 worth of a gap. And if we pull in and kind of fill that, come back, retest, that's a little bit more of a, shall we say, a nicer way of doing things, a more cleaner way, but it's quite possible it could still continue to just run up. Notice this volume here. This is nice bullish volume that's coming into the stock, but it is kind of early. We are still on the daily, but you can see it started to pick up even before the earnings report. So somebody knew something, you know, so you can see it was starting to pick up some speed. And if you stretch it, you can tell right here. There's a good stretch before even the earnings report. So somebody knew something. There's a little bit more trading action there, or people were placing their bets and hedging in some way or another. Overall, people were getting into the stock ahead of time. Anyway, so if you're looking to position yourself, just position slowly. You don't know if after earnings this does get a little bit of a pullback and then retest some of the other levels like 230 and then power higher. Even if it doesn't do that, you want to be mindful that we can get stretched. And a stock that's up, you know, about 6% already, it's moving pretty quick. $15, 6-7% in a day. That's fast. Be careful in this choppy market. We do have a little bit of a market that's chopping around a bit. Like right now we are, if you look at the S&P, we're down about 70 points or so on the S&P. SPY real time here is actually about 65 points. So there's a lot of stocks that are struggling, even stocks like, you take a look at stocks like Apple, they'll sell off, AMD, same thing, it's just pressing higher and then selling off. So they're struggling, they're kind of moving in this downward trend. And the same thing here when you look at Workday. We've got the earnings report that's fueling the stock a little bit with the news catalyst, but it doesn't mean it can't pull back here soon. So just be mindful, be careful in this environment. It's a little bit tricky, and trade a little bit lighter. So if you're looking at 100 shares, you might want to do, let's say 20 shares. That kind of thing. If you're doing option contracts, if you normally do 5, maybe do 1 contract. So lighten things up to be able to just sustain the movement and the range of movement that we're getting out of the markets right now. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to check out the Discord channel here. We talk about some stock movers and so forth. And also check out the Traders Fly website for some freebies and live classes there as well. Anyways, thanks again. Hope to see you in one of those sessions, and I'll see you next time.